Oh, brothers, we gotta talk. I'm just kidding. I've been watching way too much. I was watching like Elisha Long all fucking day today because I needed some of that retard max energy today. You get so in our fucking heads so much. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a time and a place to contemplate your life and your decisions, but I feel like it should come from the heart, but at the same time, the heart will make you have decisive thought. You know what I'm saying? Make you have decisive thought. But yeah, you know, long day at work. Frick, man. You know, just trying to enjoy the beautiful freaking nature, enjoying my freaking life. What I feel like is right for me to do, I will do. I haven't really been working out these last 3 days. It was like off and on. Just went to this like fucking festival. It was pretty nice. I had to get some fucking, I had to switch it up, guys. I had to get some fucking natural American spirits in the pack. In the freaking pack. Just drinking some PBRs. I'm going to be working tomorrow on my day off with some people. And I'm going to be laying in cement. It's going to be a good old time. And I'm going to be paid quite well. So, do I want my days off? Yes, I freaking do. It sucks. But at the same time, we're renewing the lease in this place. It's the whole plan. So more money right now, the better. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm freaking saying? But on that note, too, I feel like I got like a bunch of shit lodged in my throat. It's fucking annoying. But cheers, guys. We got some PBRs. We're about 3 beers. This is my 3rd beer, so let's rock and roll, baby. Yeah, hell yeah. Your parents, brother, they're going to worry about you. That's normal. Parents want the freaking best for you from their perspective on what life is. And there's some stuff that maybe you can adhere to, but not because they're your parents, but because maybe sometimes they're right, but sometimes they're also wrong. You know when you really sit down what you need to do that's going to help you. If you really sit down and really think about it, or like sit down and be like, oh man, this is what I want out of my life. This is what I want to do. You know, oh my gosh, yeah, I do want to be more of a force in the world and everything like that. You know, when you're so caught up in thought and you're contemplating all the freaking time, you're stuck, you're not taking action. Hence that video I made yesterday where I was like, sometimes maybe you need to just have some freaking beers and let the beers hit and then like let the freaking thoughts come out. Start banging it out, you know? But it's like when I used to smoke a lot of pot, right? It's like I knew I needed to stop. I didn't like where my life was going. Obviously, I was hearing stuff from friends. I was hearing stuff from my mom, my dad, you know. But it didn't really matter what they said because at the end of the day, I knew deep down, I was like, this is how I want to fucking live anymore, you know. And that's where it really has to come from within. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, because you're probably a grown ass man watching this shit. Maybe you're younger. I don't freaking know. I'm assuming my audience, the little audience I have, like and subscribe if you can, please, as well. I'm trying to actually take this channel a lot more seriously. But also, I got a nice-ass fade, too. Cut it myself. I've been cutting my hair for years now, because I'm like, why go see a freaking barber and pay them? Maybe once in a while on a blue moon. If I was really rocking money like that, I'm like, hey, you know what? Shape of my hair real nice. Do it better than even I can. But I do a pretty damn good job. There's a little spot right there. Nah, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty freaking good. Looking like The Rock. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Rock is cooking cookies. That's what The Rock is cooking. The Rock is cooking cookies. You know what The Rock is cooking? He's cooking cookies. So let's cook some cookies. Arr, matey. My name's Popeye. My name's Popeye, matey. That's not Popeye's voice. Oh, Popeye. I'm Popeye. Hey, my name's Popeye. Hello, my name's Popeye. What's your name? My name is Popeye. Oh. You shouldn't try to adhere or appease to your parents. Don't do that. Be you. There's a level of respect that you can give them, of course, right? But at the same time, if you're a goofball, you might be a little annoying. Hey, man, just be freaking annoying. You got one life to freaking live. Brother, your parents are your parents, all right? They might not like everything you do or how you act sometimes, but that's their shit that they have to deal with. As long as you're trying to be as respectful as you can with them, it shouldn't be a fucking problem at the end of the fucking day. But if you're a goofy goober or you like doing certain type of things, it is what it is. You got to look into your life and see what's right for me. What do I want out of my life? Do I not want to be that awesome guy who's financially equipped, physically in shape, and just freaking being able to rock a beer here and there and have some smokes and still be able to take care of my due diligence? Man, it's beautiful outside. I'll tell you that, though. It's very, very nice out. It's very nice. The only problem I have now, because it's like I used to, a lot of those videos I've been me on my front porch, and now it's been in the backyard because it's a lot sunnier out. It's very nice. But the only problem I have is, like, these trees, the leaves are growing so big now that the sun is not really reaching in here, which is annoying because if I went to the front, the sun is still busting out in the front, right? So it's very annoying. But, God, it's what I have to do. I'd rather be out here. It feels better. Feels like there's something lodged in the back of my throat. Jeez. But let's smoke this cig. Let's talk about the taste here. Because I wanted to change things up. I was like, I'm tired of rolling up my cigs right now. So let me change it up a little bit. I feel like, in my opinion, to really be a free-spoken person, you got to be okay with being looked at like you're a bigot. You got to be okay with being looked at like you're racist. Obviously, you're probably not racist. You got to be okay with being looked at as a homophobe. We live in a time now where you could have a criticism of certain types of things, and then all of a sudden you're a bigot. Everybody's schizoed from 1,000 voices. Schizoed from 1,000 voices. There are too many people in their freaking ear telling them this, that, the third. Everybody's a fucking know-it-all. Everybody has the fucking answers. But I have the answers, so you should listen to me. But everybody else doesn't. Obviously, I'm joking. But only that part right there. But I feel like you got to be okay with being looked at a certain type of way. Because people don't know you. They don't know the thoughts that you fucking have. They don't know what the fuck you're going through. And that even goes for your parents. They don't fucking really know you. They know parts of you, but they don't really know you. You know what I mean? They don't know what you think about, what you do. You know what I'm saying? But obviously they're still going to love and care about you if they're decently good parents, right? Or whatever. See, the thing I like about rolled tobacco, I always end up getting like a way deeper pull. The pull is always way deeper and better. But sometimes I want to change it up. Sometimes it's an aesthetical thing. You know, I want to feel a certain type of way. I want to dress a certain type of way. You guys seen that movie Kingsman? Clothes make it the man. Sometimes I'm dressing up like a farmer, like a country boy, country man. Makes me feel good, makes me feel cool. Why not? Why not? Don't you not have one life to live? Don't you want to feel good about yourself? Don't you want to feel powerful? Don't you want to feel freaking good? You know? Actually, I got these green pants on right now. I'll show you guys my outfit. Got this. Bam. Some boots. I feel like a military guy. Have I been in the military? Freaking no! Do I respect some of that military energy? Yes! It's awesome. Some of it, right? I had a whole plethora of things. I was like, oh, I'll talk about this, I'll talk about that. And I was like, you know what? No. I'm going to freaking just talk about whatever the fuck it is that I want to talk about. You know, I'm going to talk about whatever it is. I'm going to just let it come out of me and blurt it out. Blurt it out. One step at a time. Together. Forever. We will make America better than it's ever been before. We will make America one of the best countries in the whole world, and everyone will know that we are great. China's great, but not as great as my super long penis. Don't tell anyone I said that. You better not fucking tell anybody I said that. I'm really fucking serious. You better not tell anybody. I don't give a fuck if this video is public for everyone to see. You better not tell a goddamn soul. I will find you, mystery viewer. Sometimes I get asked, there's this one fucking faggot who's always, and when I say faggot, I don't mean he's fucking gay. He'll be like, what drugs are you on, man? And I'm like, brother, man, I'm just fucking letting loose and being a little goofy. Calm down, brother. Do you not have fun, or are you always trying to act cool all the goddamn time? Loosen up, man. Take that stick outside of your butthole. You gotta act like you got it all together. You got it all figured out. Nobody's got it all figured out, brother. That's why it's like, if I'm listening to a 70-year-old person telling me they're still figuring shit out, but they're financially set. I think that's how we see somebody that's got it figured out, is that they're financially set. But life is like forever going, and there's always going to be pondering and questions that we're going to have and thoughts that we're going to have, you know? It's one of those things. Like and subscribe. Make this channel a little big, okay? And then I'm going to start having traveling vlogs. Just got my freaking birth certificate again. So I just ordered a birth certificate. I don't know when it's going to be here. It could be like 60 days. I have no freaking clue. Just ordered that, put in an order for that. Then I get my social, then I get my ID, then I get my passport, and I can start traveling again. That's my prerogative. I want to go out and enjoy my life. And the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is that you got your due diligence taken care of. Your finances, your foundation, and then go out into the world and do your fucking thing. You know? That's how I see it. It's a damn beautiful day. That's what I'll say. And I'll say it again, I won't say it twice, but I just said it thrice. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh shit, I said it twice. Don't repeat my words. You gotta be okay with sometimes maybe coming off like a hypocrite. You gotta be okay with just looking like an idiot, like a straight up fool. Because I realize too, it's like, brother, I feel like the most times I'm inspired and I'm feeling like I want to go and I'm bright is sometimes you gotta look through like childlike eyes. Like childlike eyes, like you bright up and you're like, oh yeah. And it's not like you're open to everything and everyone's opinion, but you're like open to this like idea, like, yeah, I'm the freaking, like, not even I'm like the freaking man, but like it's something like beyond words. You know, I was watching Troy the other day, with Brad Pitt, and it just inspired the shit out of me. That warrior type of shit, all that shit. I was like, damn, that like sense of honor. You know, anybody could say anything. They'd be like, oh, no, it doesn't matter. Like, dude, this is your life to live. Why are you worrying so much about what other people think of you? As long as you can present yourself decently well in society, you're not getting in trouble at that level. You know what I mean? It's like, quit overthinking shit so much. Get back to how you were when you were younger, and you were inspired by like Rocky and all these type of things. But then as you get older, I've noticed this, especially with people like, especially people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And it really depends. But when I talk to people that are older and they have that brightness in them, Jack LaLanne, great example. Jack LaLanne, probably one of the best examples ever. 70 years old. He's like swimming, like handcuffed with 70 like rowboats. They were like huge boats filled with people, and he's swimming with them, and like behind his back he had that childlike wonder, you know what I mean? And he did great things to this day that we could talk about him, you know, because he was inspired. He wasn't trying to keep it together all the time and be like, yeah, I got it together. You know, there's a time and fucking place to have that, to have your frame. You know, but then at the same time, it's just like being inspired. Like when you were a kid and you watch Dragon Ball Z, and then that inspires you to want to get into martial arts and all this type of stuff, you know? And then having the discipline to like go forth with that. It's like a balance, basically. That's how I see it. It's a balance. Yeah, man. Just my viewpoint. It's just my viewpoint. Get a little bright-eyed. Like right now I'm getting like bright-eyed. I'm like looking at the trees. I'm not thinking so much. The more you think sometimes, there's a time and place, but you're like overthinking. You're like, oh, do I sound like this? Or do I come off like this? Or it's like you're missing out on all this fucking beautiful wonder over here because you don't want to look like you're fucking retarded. But you know who's usually the most happiest and has like the greatest lives? Well, for the most part, and they don't overthink shit? Retarded people. They're fucking like, oh yeah, boobies, oh wow, look at this, oh there's a butterfly, oh wow. Can we not learn a thing or two from these people? I mean, seriously. Well, I think it's all that plastic that I was keep chewing on fucking plastic straws when I'm at work. It helps me focus. I should just start getting gum at this point. It's ridiculous. But like, have that bright-eyed wonder, like, oh my god, like you know, when I used to smoke pot, I had that bright-eyed wonder, and there was a pro and a con with that. Okay, but I noticed a lot of people would look at me like I was naive, that I was like childlike, I was childish, not childish, like childlike. And I think there's a balance. You know, it's not like I want people going around calling me retarded, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's just like, life was just so beautiful, and it was awesome. And like, you're a lot smarter than you think you are. Even your parents, they might look at you a certain type of way, like they got stuff figured out, and it's just like, they'll be like, yeah, you'll see when blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, brother, like, it's like, you don't even know what's going on through my head, you know? That's why I have a little brother, too, and I try not to underestimate him. I do watch ways of how he is, but, you know, it's like when you have a parent, and there might be choices that your parent does that maybe you could see later. I was like, oh, yeah, but it's not like everything they do is good. It's not like once you have, like, a kid or once you, like, do a certain thing, you're going to be, oh, now I exactly see what they mean. And I've never thought or ever contemplated any of these things in my life because I just am too dumb to even be able to think that way. Oh, you know. But I think you're a lot smarter than you think you are. What the fuck is up with that? I think you're a lot smarter than you think you are. You know, and that's why you can't be listening to everybody around you. You need to make choices and do certain things and not really listen to what other people are telling you. You know, like, realistically, like, if they have sound advice, then cool, you know, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do my own thing, and I can sit there and contemplate, like, okay, if I do that, that might lead me into this, which is probably a bad idea, but if I do this, hey, you never know what might come out of it, you know, so it's like, you know, it's one of those things, it's like trying to go about it, because I've definitely had an interesting life in my 20s. It was definitely interesting. I was traveling, I had like 2 German girlfriends at the same time. I've been out of the state a lot and stuff, and just where my life is right now, I value like my structure in my life, and being able to have a place like after work, after I can go for a workout and then I can come home and I can relax and chill, you know, that to me is more meaningful at this point. But now I do, and not going like so gung-ho in my life while like I work, and then at the same time try to figure out other things on the side while I already have a structure, I have a foundation, so I don't have to worry about that other shit. You know, Elisha Halls might talk about like, yeah, burn down your house, not actually, but like, you know, maybe you need to do something crazy and, you know, get your life a little shaken up so you can like go out. But I feel like those are the messages for people that have not already done maybe some crazy shit and kind of fucked up their life a little bit and make them realize like, oh, okay, you know what, maybe structure is actually really good, and outside of that structure I can make something happen. Because then there's the opposite when you're so gung-ho but you have no discipline behind your gung-ho-ness, and you're not able to like kind of have a place where you can have some peace and have some time to be able to think about the choices that would probably better your life, or how to be able to create a career for yourself later on in the future and making little moves now. So I'm a huge component of like baby steps a lot of times, just day by day, have like a future goal, but then like day by day, you know, and then you're reaching towards that goal. Sometimes you might slip, you might fall, but you got to get back on that train and keep it going. Because even with the working out, you know, I haven't been working out for like 4 fucking days. Like, not working out seriously. Like, I'm doing push-ups here and there, I'm doing some kicks and whatever, but I'm not going on my like mile run and doing my exact agenda. But that's the thing fucking too, you know, it's just like that's why I'm like, I've really been considering about going back to the gym, because I've just been doing calisthenics for the most part. I have this weight here, finding some ways, and when I go to the gym, there's something about lifting heavy weights that really just like wakes me up even more. And like kind of going around and buzzing around and just like having fun, because after a certain point it's like, if you don't have any excitement in your life, what the fuck is the point? You know what I mean? Like, I want to, for me personally, I want to have excitement in my life. There's a time and a place for seriousness. I go to work, it's not going to be exciting all the time. I'm not excited when I'm at work, but there's a time for me to get serious and be like, all right, let me get this fucking done, let me fucking do this. But if you don't have any excitement in my life, that's the juice of life, you know, some excitement. And it goes even with working out. I'm like, to me, I'm like, okay, I know how to just keep myself consistently like healthy and get a good body by having a consistent, like running a mile or two every day, jump roping for 10 minutes, hitting the kickboxing bag for 10 minutes, doing 200 to 300 push-ups and body weight squats, 50 pull-ups, 50 handstand push-ups, 50 crunches, and doing that every day will get you a good body. And maybe if that's your like goal straight up, then just like do that. But then there's another part of me where it's like I love keeping that excitement alive and that kind of that oomph in my life, you know, where I'm like talking and I'm doing stuff and I'm able to talk to people and I'm not like so fucking serious all the fucking time, you know, because you could be so serious all day, but then you just wind up being in the same spot because you're overthinking shit constantly and you're not just taking little steps every single day to meet a goal, you know. So for me, it's just like a balance, keeping it fucking simple, you know. Keep it simple. Quit overthinking things. Maybe one day you will learn how to fly and you'll fight like giants and all this type of stuff, and you will finally be able to have the glory of that Final Fantasy character you always wanted to be. But I think be inspired by those characters and move forth. Have some sense of purpose in your life, because that'll give you a deeper sense of innerness to yourself. And the way you could find that purpose is by looking back on your life. That's how I always find. Look back on the experiences you've had. Maybe even be a little delusional and believe, like, you know what, maybe I am royalty. You know, maybe I am, my ancestors are kings and queens and royalty and ultimate warriors. You know, not all of them, but like maybe I do come from that. And like be delusional, because who the fuck is to tell you that they're not? You know what I mean? It's not like I'm going around and being like, yeah, actually my family comes from royalty. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm going to fucking believe it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to go around telling people like, oh, yeah, you know, my family is from royalty. Like, no. But I'm going to believe it, and that gives me some sense of like I'm destined for more. I'm destined for great things. But just because you're destined for great things doesn't mean that you can't be in this world and do these small things, like getting a 9 to 5. So that way you can have some structure in your fucking life and actually do shit with your fucking time that you fucking have outside of work, and maybe work on a career, maybe a YouTube channel, like whatever the fuck it is, and you make certain fucking choices. You know, the thing is too, which is annoying as fuck to me, it's not annoying, but I know my dad now, he's like watching my videos, and you know, I love my dad, but it's also annoying because I feel like sometimes I might be making these comments, and maybe he's not even thinking this shit, but I've said this type of stuff to him before, and I don't want to have like some phone call where he's like, what is that? Was it supposed to be about me? You know what I mean? Like, is that a jab at me? And like, if you are watching, it's not a jab at you. It's genuinely how I feel about fucking life. But it is annoying because, you know, he's got a lot of thoughts of his own. So it's like, it's fucking annoying a little bit being fucking watched. But maybe I'm thinking about it too much. But I'm going to be saying shit like this. But again, you know, you're not here to appease your fucking parents. You know what I mean? I think if you are really driven by God and you have a sense of purpose, you are going to make, if your parents care about you even the slightest, you're going to make them proud probably regardless. If you become successful doing the things that you want to do and it bears fruit, they're going to be proud regardless. You know what I'm saying? So like when I say don't appease them, there's going to be things you do that are going to appease them, but it's not out of this place of like, how do I appease them? You know what I'm saying? You should be doing it for you because it's constructing your life in a way that's making it better. So you can have more enjoyable experiences in your life. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, personally, too, that's why, for me, it's like, yeah, I can get, like, a career. Someone told me I should be an EMT, all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to be an EMT. I don't want to do that shit, you know, and then they'll look at you like, Evan, man, I really think you should do this. Like, you're just some floating, naive person, you know, and it's just like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to fucking do it. I can understand, like, maybe getting a better career in this aspect of reality could help me do that. But where I'm at, yeah, I don't like working my 9 to 5 sometimes, but I'm okay just doing that right now and try to focus on making a YouTube channel. But the thing right there is I have to be consistent with my YouTube channel. That's why now I'm saying please like and subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, if you enjoy my freaking ranting, please like and subscribe, because I would like to. And I just got 4 new subscribers, so that's fucking awesome. Thank you guys, by the way, if you're still watching this. But it's like, and I'm encourage these people, anybody who's watching, like, make a YouTube channel. Do something, brother, because you never know. Maybe in a year, maybe 5 years, 10 years, something might come out of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, I'm like, brother, man, let's try it. Just try it. And I'm not trying to come up on here like a guru. Like, I know everything that I'm talking about and everything that I say is right for you in your life. But this is generally how I fucking feel. You know, and this is generally how I see life right now, especially my life. You know, I don't think we want to roam around life. Like, I think life should be taken seriously, but also not seriously at the same time. You know, I think when you're really in tune with God, you can actually, like, kind of see both just, like, simultaneously. So it's not really a dichotomy. There's a time for seriousness, and then there's a time for just, like, being lighthearted and just having a good time and having fun, you know, and making some laughs and not being overly critical and analyzing everybody and how they speak and how they fucking talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there might be things we don't agree on. There's people that I talk to where I just really don't agree with them, where I'm like, dude, I don't even want to be around you. And it's like the same with them. To me, they're like, dude, what the fuck is up with you? You're fucking crazy, you're wild. And I'm like, oh, no, I got to appease everybody. I need everybody to like me. Like, dude, come on, man. What kind of life is that to live? There's so many people, when you're being authentic and you're being real with the things that you actually care about and your opinions on things, the right people will come. Because there's people like there that are like-minded as you. They're not just like you, but they're like-minded as you, and they totally get it. They understand your umph. They understand your machismo. They like your machismo. They like your umph. Because it's not like, even if you have machismo, it's not like you're being a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Some people will think you're a fucking dick. Some people, you might say something or have a certain opinion, and I've had this with people. And, you know, and I've felt the same way with other people, too, where it just doesn't click. And they're like, fuck you, you're fucking da-da-da-da, you know. I mean, I did this to somebody, like, last week, and I got to a point where we're talking about fucking, fucking. And I stick my finger in their butthole, and I was like, blah, 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 is there anybody in there? And they're like, stop it, you know, because I didn't ask. I just did it. But I'm kidding. But we were talking about freaking, and I've had too many of these conversations with this person before. So at this point, I was just getting so annoyed. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you act, because the way they talk is like in this way where, you know, they're like touching me on the shoulder too. There's this one chick. They go by day or whatever the fuck, you know. But there's this one chick, and she's like, Evan, see, da 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 da. And I'm like, yo, quit trying to like get. I'm like, I see what you're doing, like putting your hand over me, trying to like hypnotize me, trying to get like comb me with me. Like, I was talking to my dad the other day, and he was like, what's up? Chummy. Great fucking word. Like, chummy with you in order to like get an emotional connection with you, so you could just like agree with their opinion. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? But we were talking about, they're the type of person that talks about how this is stolen land. And they always want to talk about that. You know, it's like those type of people that scroll way too much. And, like, you know, I'm not exempt from that. I also have scrolled a lot and gotten mad at things that I just don't need to really be getting mad at. But they were talking about that, and they always talking about, like, white people this, white people that. And I'm just like, yo, like, and they're like, I'm like, you know, slavery's been around forever, and, like, Africans had slaves, too. And you know Africa's a continent, right, with, like, massive amounts of countries, and it wasn't like, Africa isn't just one country. They're like, well, no, because the white people, they predicated that, and they already blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, dude, like, white people, like, Mongolians had slaves. They conquered. Native Americans are not all the same Native Americans. Native Americans, because we're generalizing the fucking group. You know what I'm saying? You have Cherokee, you have this, you have this, you have that. Some of them were, like, all peace-loving and shit with nature. Some of them were in a different part of nature where it was, like, conquer and fucking yeah, you know what I mean? Which is a part of nature. Conquering is a part of literal nature. I mean, you go... The lion kills the fucking prey. That is nature. So it's like other natives were killing other natives. Black people, like, funny enough, my dad he grew up in the freaking ghetto. You know what I mean? I remember one time he told me, he's like, you know what the most racist people I've ever met? Black people. My dad's black. So it's just like, you know, you hear that, but because he's been in such a horrific, like, upbringing, he's seen black people do horrible things to other black people. And the people that blame white people, I'm not saying that there isn't some systemic racism or whatever, but I'm just saying this is natural human shit. You know what I mean? Not that we all need to be doing that type of shit. You know, it's weird too. I didn't start dealing with this right till I started talking. Maybe it's like an energy thing or some shit like that. But even the Mexicans came over here and conquered native land. You know, is it not a coincidence that a lot of natives kind of look like Mexicans? You know what I'm saying? And Filipinos look like the whole world. In my mind, to say that one group of people are not capable or it's the white man's fault for racism and all this type of stuff, but these other people are just so sacred, and they're just so, you know, they would never do that. It's almost like saying that the white man is superior than the black man. That's all I hear is white people are superior and they took over and they enslaved, and the Africans never actually enslaved each other. They just did it because of the white man. They don't have those capabilities. They don't have that sense of evil nature in their heart. You know, and to me it's like, dude, we're all capable of like good and bad. You know, but anyways, I'm like digressing, but like that's the kind of the whole thing we're talking about. And she's like, oh, it's the white people. And I'm like, brother, man, like fucking slavery in Africa has been around since like forever. Like they've had slaves. It has nothing to do with white people. White people, it just seems like, you know, I think it's because we go to school and it's pre-educated, and there's a time when Europe was really taking over a lot of shit. You know what I mean? They're like Africa, especially back in the day. I hate saying Africa. I'd rather just like name a specific country, so maybe I need to brush up on my history more. But a lot of countries had a lot of royalty, and it's like almost saying like they're lesser than. I hate these whole things. They had a lot of like royalty. Oh, holy shit! And they had slaves. You know, Greeks had slaves. Chinese had slaves. Japanese had slaves. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It was horrific. I mean, yeah, and they'll be like, well, the white people, they took them, and I'm like, no, dude, like they were traded. They were traded. And even before Europe came into Africa and certain aspects of Africa to like kind of delegate with them and stuff like that, Africans, even before Europe became big into the slave trade. And that's the dumb part too, because Europe has always had slaves for like a long time, like for like since recorded history, and so has Africa. That's why I'm like, but anyways, I'm digressing so hard. I think we're all human, and we're all capable of good, and we're all capable of evil, and you know, this is just me. This is my rants. I just will go on. I'll like go here. I'll go over here. I'll go over there. You know what I mean? But it just got to a point where I'm like saying this. I'm like, what the fuck? That doesn't even make any fucking sense. She's like, you know what, Evan? Just get out of here. Just get out of here. Get out of here. And I was like, she's like, get out of here, because she's always acting like, yeah, all right, yeah, I love that, yeah. But then she's the same type of person. Like, this bitch is schizo. And then she's like, I've literally heard her be like, these men, it's the men, the men. And like, I've had times where I'm fucking flipping out, but I don't resort to like a generalization of like gender or race. You know what I'm saying? And if that's her like compass, that's what's really coming out of her. So she has this kind of like weird lesbian like know-it-all behavior. I know you've seen it before. Most of the time I actually really see it is with lesbian chicks or women that are transitioning to men. Just my observation. Is that a weird coincidence? I don't know. You tell me. That's all I've seen. I'm a big old bigot, so I don't know what I don't know. It's my observation. But then I end up fucking flipping out, and I'm drunk as fuck, and I'm like, dude, you're a fucking idiot, you fucking retard, you're a fucking retard. This is why I hate fucking talking to you, you fucking idiot. Which is funny because earlier I'm talking about, you know, retarded people. Like, they're more blissed out. So I kind of use my words sparingly sometimes. Like, when I'm calling somebody retarded, I'm really trying to, like, insult them. You know what I mean? But when I was saying that the retarded people are, like, really happy, that wasn't an insult, you know? You go, oh, you're digging a hole. Then whatever, fuck you. You can believe what you want. That's my explanation right there. Mentally challenged people, whatever. Because that's the thing, too, that pisses me off. It's just like, you know, people will, like, hear the words and it's just like, brother, I work with this dude who's mentally challenged. He's annoying sometimes. Well, what the fuck is up with my throat? So fucking annoying, dude. He's not that, but he's like slow. But I always try to treat people kind of like people, and sometimes he annoys me. But I always like see him. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? You know. But I don't really ever try to talk like condescendingly towards him. A lot of people do that, They talk to these guys like kids, and I mean, it's not like talk to them like rough and be like, what the fuck are you saying, man? Fuck you, you know, fucking retard, like saying, no, hell no, like that's fucked up. You know what I mean? That's fucked up. Like they're actually like mentally like slow. This person I'm talking about is like not mentally slow, but they're like fucking schizo as fuck. You know, and they act cool and they act all this stuff. But then I could be like, well, that's kind of with me sometimes too. You know what I mean? But I forget the whole fucking point that I'm making here. Again, this is my third beer. I'm actually drinking it pretty goddamn slowly. But, you know, I feel like we shouldn't be afraid to be able to talk about these things, even if I live in a very liberal town. I'm not conservative or left-winging. As I get older, I do swing on more conservative mindsets. But I think when we're maybe too caught up on the political spectrum in that sense, it's like picking a football team. You know, especially now. I mean, it's been like that for a while, but especially now, it's like picking a football team. And, like, I like Giants and you like the fucking Buffalo Bills or some shit like that. Those are both New York State teams, which I actually want to get more into football. You know, I think that's fucking cool as fuck. Like, actually, like, liking sports and talking to people about sports. I used to shit on that, like, the masses, don't they know they're being controlled? But now I'm like, I like the camaraderie. I like being able to kind of go into that stuff. But anyways, I digress. I don't think it should be really about that when it comes to like speaking on these things. I think it should just be like, here's my opinion. This is your opinion. Okay, we're talking it out. Not, you're a conservative. Fuck you. Oh, like that's crazy. You're a libtard. You fucking liberal. Fuck you. Like that's insane, dude. It's like, okay, what points do you have to make here? Okay, well, this is my point. Okay, da-da-da-da. And we might agree to disagree. Like, naturally, we might agree to disagree. After a certain point, I can only give you so much logic where it's just like, there's no way to logic my argument. There's no way to logic your argument. This is what you believe, and this is what I believe. But after a certain point, it is like, well, I feel like if we were using actual logic, then it's like, you know, but maybe I don't have enough logic to be able to explain, and you don't have enough logic to be able to explain either. And we always want to be right, you know, that's the thing, too. Damn, 40-minute freaking video over here. This would be nice. This would be fucking nice. I don't mind it. It's almost like, if any of you guys are still sticking with me, to me it's like, dude, it's cathartic as fuck making YouTube videos, bro. It's so cathartic. Damn. Ugh. It's so cathartic. But again, you know, you gotta, I think sometimes we do want to be right, and that's okay. And I think being okay with being looked at as an idiot is not trying to appease people, maybe acting goofy, like you're cracked out, you're on drugs, even though you're not. You know I annoy the shit out of my dad sometimes. I'll be, yeah, oh, yeah. And I'm like super excited. He's like, the fuck? Oh, and I'm like, okay, all right. You know, I was talking to my friend. I'm like, I don't think your dad really like knows you that well. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know, there's levels, right? I don't know. He was telling me some shit yesterday. I'm like, oh, interesting. You know, we're always learning stuff about each other. I think your parents can see you from when you were younger, but they like it's not like they're around you 24/7. They don't understand everything you're picking up, and you're learning about life in general, experiences. And at the end of the day, like my dad is like my dad, but like now it's almost like we're peers, you know. And it's hard for them to hear that, even with me and my mom. When I talk to my mom, you know, there is still that like they're my father and mom, and I try to respect that. But at that same time, you know, I don't, you know. It's hard, man. It's hard. I remember I met a guy in the airport one time. And he was like, always let your mom. He looked like a fatter version of my dad, kind of, actually. He's funny. But he was looking at me in the airport, and I was coming back from Germany. I was in Portugal, and he was like, he just started talking to me a lot. He's like, man, you really remind me of me when I was younger, man. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, man. And then we're like talking. He's like, yeah, yo, I used to be really good with the girls. You ever fucked a fucking girl in like a bamboo fucking forest? And I was like, nah. And he's like, dude, I remember this one time, man. I was fucking this chick in the bed in Japan. I'm like holding it. It's like a beautiful view, and I'm like fucking her and stuff. He's like, but I used to be lean as fuck. That's what he was saying, right? Which I, you know, God willing, I'm still like fucking lean at that time. You know, he got a little too comfortable. But he was like, nah, man, I'm nice with talking to girls. I'll even show you. And then he did. He showed me. He was actually nice with the talking to the chicks. And we were just right at the airport. But I remember he just said, he was like, always just let your parents be your parents. You know, you might not agree with everything they say, but in a sense, I feel like it really takes a mature person to just allow your parents to feel like they're still your parents, you know? So even when I said my father's my parent, if he's watching this, it's almost like I don't want to say that. Like, I just want him to feel like because he is my dad. It's not like, oh, I want him to feel, he is my dad, you know? But I think there is something of that feeling of having a kid and still being seen as like the wiser older man in a sense, you know? But at the same time, I feel like with my dad, it's a little different than it is with my mom. Like, at this point, with my mom, I feel like we've had like a really rough spot, and now we're talking again here and there. And I feel like lately, our conversation's been really good. It's only like when we're living with each other, you know. But we, you know, we just like talk. We're just talking like family. We're talking. When she's not over here trying to be like, Evan, you see, what you don't understand is, and you will understand, because my dad talks like that a lot. He talks. He doesn't do it as much now, but he still does it, but like condescending, like, you just don't understand. But you will understand one day. See, when this happens, you'll understand. And I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm like, all right, I'm an idiot. I don't know. You know, I guess I don't know. You know, I guess it is what it is. But it's hard, too, because they're both 15 years older than me. So it's one of those things. But it is also, too, just like, you know, I love my dad and I love my mom, and, you know, I always want them in my life. But some things maybe need to be said sometimes, you know. Some things need to be said. I think it's how you go about saying it, but sometimes things need to be said, and it's not like you want to be looked at that way, you know. Not like you're gonna have all the answers, because they don't either, you know. They're trying to figure it out too, but they want to come off like they kind of have the answers, you know what I mean? And I can get that. I can see why. I guess I can't fully see because I don't have a kid, but. No, I can still see why. I can still see why. It makes sense to me. But yeah, this is a long ass video, so I think I'm gonna end it before I go too far. This is gonna get like no views, but if any of you guys are still watching, I appreciate it. Kind of just ranting. It's kind of what I do. But seriously though, like in the future, guys, I want to start like uploading. You know, start doing some trips. It was funny because I was watching Small Brain American, and he usually does vlogs in other countries where he's going to bars or he's hanging out with the locals or he's doing stuff. And he's like recording himself, but he went to Daytona Beach in Florida, and he was talking about in his podcast, he just feels awkward filming, like going to bars and like filming. It's just weird. And I'm like, dude, I get that. I like totally fucking get that. Because if I was like in another country and I had my GoPro and I'm like filming myself and vlogging, it just feels different. Like the people usually in most of these places, it's like whatever, you know. Maybe it's because I'm like not at home, you know. But like here, it's like I don't want to go in my bars and like have my phone camera around me like this, you know. It's like it could be a lot too. Like, you know, when you go to another country, you don't know what fucking people are saying most of the time, and you don't care. There's not like this subconscious caring because you didn't grow up around that. You know, if you're in America, it's like, you know, you grew up around that, you might be a little bit more self-conscious about it. But, yeah, I want to, like, have more vlogs. I know I want to go to Germany again eventually, and I definitely would make a fucking vlog there. You know, just like, hey, we're going to go get fucking drunk. It's Oktoberfest. Actually, that's a good fucking goal. I might aim for that, actually, if I get my passport by then. I don't know if I will, though, but we'll see what happens. If I get my passport before then, I think I'm going to try to do an Oktoberfest thing. Or even in New York City, I would like vlog. I would do that, because I'm in New York State. New York City isn't that far away from me. But we'll see what happens, because I don't want all my content just me being in my backyard. But right now, I'm doing some Elijah Hall shit. Fuck him, Jacob Jones. Just like, I'm smoking here, I'm doing this. And that's good, too. It's like, let that take you. No, you got one life to freaking live, man. Let it freaking take you and freaking do it. You know? Fuck yeah. Alright, that's why I'll leave it on. Have a good night, guys.